The title of this video is Why Manifestation Fails. Many people make New Year's resolutions or intentions, and they only follow through with them for a few days or weeks because they don't see quick results. And they don't have an understanding of how things work, and they don't have a plan. In this video on manifestation, you'll understand what works and why a lot of efforts don't. And I'll give you a step-by-step formula, a plan to manifest what your heart desires. This session is about manifesting what you desire through the use of a special form of prayer. But prayer not in the usual form it's thought of as a bargaining or a begging God. The word as I use it is closer to the word intention, but it's certainly not a casual hoping or intending to want something. It's much more of a very specific application of a process that engages the natural forces of attraction, creation, and manifestation. It is so easy to get sucked into a drama or a story, which is why I've posted videos to help you with your development and evolution to make it easier, faster, more enjoyable than trying to do it on your own. Just as when you go to school or you take a class, you have a teacher and other students, which make learning and growing a whole lot more fun and easier than if you try to do it on your own. So, if you're ready to begin, it would be best if you located yourself where you won't be disturbed and you've made your normal preparations for meditation. Now, this is not really a meditation in a normal sense, but you're going to find it a whole lot more effective if you're in a relaxed and meditative state while you do it. So, as you breathe in, hold the intention of opening your heart and opening yourself with self-permission to be taken to the next level of your evolution, to recalibrate to the next jump in consciousness that you're ready to integrate. And along with whatever else you would like to manifest, hold the intention to bring more love, more joy, more peace into your world so that you could share it with everyone every day. This is the foundation for your successful manifestation as well as your spiritual evolution. The two really go hand in hand. The more you're connected with your spiritual nature, the more powerfully you'll be able to manifest. If there's any known or unknown obstacle or block that you've been carrying around, simply give yourself permission to let it go. And then breathe into your heart and ask yourself, what is still holding you back? What is the resistance? And are you really deeply willing to let it all go? Through what I call a prayerful intention process, you can keep embracing more and more of what life can be, and you become a channel for creating more love and joy and happiness in your life and that of others. Prayerful intentions are not give-me sessions, the way prayers are for many people. Prayerful intentions are your desire to have your soul manifest a vision to further your evolution. Creation is an ongoing process, and it will go on forever into eternity. And through prayerful intentions, you become a conscious co-creator of wonderful expressions of existence. So just think how wonderful, how tremendous an opportunity this is. When prayer comes from your soul, then it is a prayer of pure intent and inspiration. If the prayer is not just a selfish wanting, but includes desires to reach out and create an envelope of love around others, then the very desire with which you are speaking You give your intention wings that will carry it into the causal plane and into the highest realms of creation. Prayer of this nature carries with it a truly powerful creative force. How far the power can be transmitted and reach depends on a number of factors, and we're going to get into this in just a little bit. But let's acknowledge what you are praying for. So I want you to select something that you wish to bring into your life. So you could choose a prayerful intention for something material that you want. That's okay. It's perfectly okay to want something physical. Or it could be to open you to new knowledge, new realizations, or spiritual revelations. Or it could be a desire for healing. Or perhaps a prayerful intention for wisdom and enlightenment. Or maybe a prayer for a relationship. At this point, it may be a general desire, or you might be specific, but I want you to hold the idea in your mind, and we're going to work with it and develop it. So here's the first key. Number one, you want the intention and prayer to be an expression of your soul, calling out for a deeper realization and expression of the very core qualities of the soul. So even if what you are wanting is something physical, you want to frame it in such a way that it includes benefits for others, as well as for the soul's unfolding and evolution. In other words, you wouldn't want to frame your request as purely for personal gain. You wouldn't state your desire like a child forming a Christmas list for Santa Claus. I want a horse. I want a bike. I want a car. I want a new washing machine. I want a new house. They would be okay if you asked the reason for wanting these things were for the greatest good for everyone. So this is the first and foremost place to start empowering your creative force of manifestation. If you want to use a prayerful intention process for a new car, you would word it like this. It is my intent and my desire and my declaration to manifest a new car so that I may better fulfill my life's purpose and be of service to others. This is a general way of saying it, but you may want to be more specific, such as, so that I may be of service to my life partner and to my family, or that I may drive to work and fulfill my mission there. The point is to create a purpose beyond just wanting it for the sake of wanting it because you like the way it looks or the way it feels to you. And by doing this, you open yourself to bring in the full force of your mind, your soul, and the universe, and give it a reason it should assist you in attaining your goal. As you put out these intentions with sincerity and from your heart, you will automatically connect with the soul. The soul best comes through and operates through the heart. Those who pray their intentions with their hearts and souls discover there is a unity in the essence of the framing of the request. It opens up a clear conduit for the manifestation. Through your intention, you align with the highest aspects of consciousness and the forces of creation. So if you haven't formulated your desire in the context of the realization of your desire being for the benefit of others and the furtherance of your evolution, do this now. Now, if you sense, feel, or think there's something blocking your intention, you may breathe out and release whatever that feeling is that there's something interfering with you manifesting. As you breathe out, you let your mind go of all and any needs for the block. And then you see and feel a sense of relief and release and of letting go as the thoughts and feelings leave. And they will dissolve. You want to be in a state of surrender to whatever you may be holding that your life would be better if you had it or didn't have it. Now, even if you don't know what's holding you back, you can still release and dissolve the feeling of being stuck and blocked. And that will help clear a state around you that will enable the manifestation to come to you. And here's how you do that. It's step 2. Your all-important step 2 is that you want to be in a surrendered spirit when you state your request. This is an open-hearted state where there's no judgment, no holding, no resistance in any form. And when the prayer comes from your heart and soul, and you are surrendered, then you have cleared the way from any resistance that there might be around the intention. And the universe, by its very nature, being a mirror universe, must and will respond. It will mirror back to you the answer and the response to your prayerful intention. Your prayer is the cause that creates the response. Prayerful intentions are the cause, and the replier answers are the effects of the causes. The universe will always support you if your will and intention is aligned with your integrity. As long as you don't have a counter program or counter belief running, or some ego program blocking you. Now, what do I mean by that? And we'll get into this more as we go on. But let's say you really want a new car. And so you have formulated your intention around attracting and manifesting a new car without any financial hardship. Now, if beneath that intention, you have a belief that I really don't deserve a new car, or I don't think I'm really good enough for a new car, maybe I could buy a cheap 20-year-old used car. No, if you're thinking that way, then you have a counter program running to your intention. And then that puts out a confusion to the universe. What's the universe supposed to do with that? Consciously, you're saying that you are aligning and wanting to attract or create or manifest a new car, but at an unconscious or a subconscious level, or maybe just in the back of your mind, you feel that for some reason you shouldn't have it or don't deserve it. Well, you see, the universe wants to help you. It wants to reflect back to you the creative energy to make that happen, but now its forces are divided. Some of the energy goes into saying, yeah, I'll help you manifest. And then the other part of the energy and life force is going into a counter program that's saying, no, you can't have it. So as you are pondering all of this, intend and imagine that your heart space is opening and expanding. You see, your heart is the key to your evolution, not your analytical mind. So imagine your capacity to receive and send love and light to expanding and growing by simply holding an intention for it to do so. And the next important step is to put energy into the intention. And that includes all the intentions. So it could be something like a physical object, let's say a car, or some other physical thing that you want to bring in, like a computer, or maybe a quality like happiness or peace of mind or more love or a higher level of enlightened awareness and evolution. When you put your attention on what you want, you also want to put energy into it to empower the manifestation force. So say to yourself, I am surrendered to allow the positive outcome of my intention. I am surrendered to allow the positive manifestation of my intention. I surrender and release any and all needs for my intention to be blocked. I surrender and release any and all needs for my intention to be blocked. The third step is the part of being surrendered must also include being in your integrity. Now, I've already mentioned that, but I wanted to make it a separate point. When you are in your integrity, you are perfectly aligned without any compromise or conflict within you, even at a subconscious level. In other words, all aspects of your consciousness are aligned and in agreement. And then you will know the third real secret to the most powerful manifesting force is being fully in integrity. As long as your intention is pure, meaning there is no conflicting, conscious or unconscious belief, you're not violating some aspect of your moral or ethical code. This is the key to having your will aligned with God's will. However, if what you are intending is going to create hardship, loss, or difficulties for someone, you will be violating the basic integrity of your soul, which is generous and pure goodness and unconditional love. And therefore, your prayer is not going to be supported by your soul. In fact, the whole intention may backfire on you, not because of some karmic revenge, but due to the very nature of the way the mirror universe is. You see, the universe can only mirror back to you in kind what you put out. And this includes what you secretly think and believe, or even what limitation you hold in your subconscious mind. And if you are fearful or guilty or hatred or angry or greedy or selfish, the mirror universe is going to reflect that in some way with what you are trying to manifest. That's just the way it is. It's set up that way. Now, I'm not saying this because I'm trying to scare you. I don't want you to have some kind of a superstitious fear about a request that you're going to make, because the process is actually quite easy. And it's pretty easy to be clear in your intentions. You just have to go into yourself a little bit and ask yourself, what do I really think about this? What do I believe about this? It's important to be aware of being in your integrity with a pure heart. Now, even on the face, that seems reasonable, doesn't it? So now check in with yourself regarding what it is that you want to manifest and see if you believe you are in your integrity with a pure motive and with a quality of goodness that emanates from your soul, and what you want is ethical and moral. You see, it's really important that you know deeply within yourself that your intention is pure, with no conflicting belief, so that the fulfillment of your intention can begin to bring in goodness for everyone. Now, step 4. Step 4 is about being clear and specific about your intention. And one really good and important way of doing this is to express your intention with words. Now, I know that might seem obvious, but carefully forming your intentions in a sentence, a single sentence, and then vocalizing your intention creates ripples in the creative energy in the fabric of creation. It puts into motion specifically what your intention is. Otherwise, the energies of creation around your intentions are nebulous. They're unformed. And therefore, the results will be less than what is desired. Your thoughts are powerful, and focused intentions move the whole universe to bring you what you want. By focusing your intentions, formulated with specific words, you bring to bear the most powerful forces there are to create what you hold your intentions on. So I'm speaking of much more than wishful thinking or just hoping, but a rather sincere, heartfelt, soul-connected intention, which is formulated with specific words. This is prayer, with the realization of bringing the soul, mind, and heart all together in one focused intention. And when this is done with heartfelt sincerity, you make yourself receptive to the highest forces of creation. For instance, you could word it this way: it is my intent, my desire, and my will to manifest my intentions so that I may share my love, healing, and prosperity with others. I'm going to repeat that 2 more times. It is my intent, my desire, and my will to manifest my intention so that I might share love, healing, and prosperity with others. It is my intent, my desire, and my will to manifest my intention so that I may share love, healing, and prosperity with others. So do you see how this works for the greater good? And of course, you can plug into this statement whatever your intention is for what it is that you're wanting to manifest. So it could read, it is my intent and my desire and my will to manifest a new car so I may share my love, healing, and prosperity with others. Now, I want you to put your prayerful intention into a statement like the one I just gave you by being specific with what it is that you want to manifest. So you say, when I say my intention, that's when you will state what your intention is. So here it is. Here's the statement once again. It is my intent, my desire, and my will to manifest my intention. And you state your intention there, so that I may share my love, healing, and prosperity with others. Now, isn't that beautiful? And that brings us to step 5. Once you have the first 4 steps in place, then you can go on to the 5th step, which is to call on higher evolved beings to join with you in supporting your intention. What you see when you are clear and in your alignment with pure intention, then you will automatically attract those on a spiritual plane with whom your prayers resonate. Highly evolved beings are loving, kind, and generous, and they love to be of service. They love to help others. The angelic realm, ascended masters, and other masters of light and wisdom willingly will join with you and add the power of their intention into the planes of creation. Set in motion powerful waves of thought that generate creation. When you hold prayerful intentions for healing, clearing, awakening consciousness, the motive is automatically very pure, which is why when you call to higher beings to assist you, if the intention is pure and you're looking for a positive response for yourself and others, that is what you will have the support from these higher beings in. See, they are not narcissistic. They want to help you evolve. So they're going to do everything they can to support you. They want you to be happy. They're generous beings. This enables the beings of love and light to partner with you on the adventures as you are evolving. Through your prayerful intentions, you make yourself receptive to these levels and forces of creation. So this can add extra life force, extra power, multiply your intentions, and it can make a difference in your life and the life of others. So this step is to call to those higher beings in your own words and ask them to join with you to support you in your intention. I'll give you an example. I ask the angelic realm and enlightened beings of love and light to join with my intentions to bring positive manifestations into my life for the benefit of all. I'm going to repeat that 2 more times so you can follow along. I ask the angelic realm and enlightened beings of love and light to join with my intentions to bring positive manifestations into my life for the benefit of all. I ask the angelic realm and enlightened beings of love and light to join with my intentions to bring positive manifestations into my life for the benefit of all. And now we come to the 6th step, and that is to visualize the outcome that you desire as if it is already present, while you bring in positive feelings and love and state your intention. So this activates the laws of attraction and creation in the most powerful ways possible. So I want you to take a moment now and imagine having and living in a state with the object of your intention. And bring in the positive feelings that go along with it. This is important because your feelings provide the energy to manifest your creations. If you have no feelings about it, you're depressed, or you're completely neutral, then you're not going to have any energy to go into the thoughts that you're putting out to cause them to attract energies that will manifest. So as you bring to mind some images, how you're going to utilize the realization of your desire in your life, you want to play it out. How is it going to affect your life? How's it going to affect the life of others? So run it like a short movie so you can see your intentions in manifestation and action, and you can feel the enjoyment and the thrill and the fulfillment and the excitement and whatever other emotions that come along with it. And I'll give you a little time right now to do this creative imagination. All right, you may want to come back to that and do that again at some point when you repeat this meditation. But we're going to go on now to the seventh step. And this one may just be the most challenging, and yet maybe it's also the most important step. And that is to empower your intention with 100% commitment, conviction, force, empowerment, and belief. In other words, it just can't be wishful thinking. At this point, it's not about being surrendered and sitting back, passively waiting for magic to happen. You need to be determined, persistent, firmly holding this manifestation in your mind, in your imagination, with unrelenting, resolute mental and emotional investment. This is the activation of power and force. Acknowledge to yourself, I am absolutely committed and hold full conviction of my intention manifesting now. I am absolutely committed and hold full conviction my intention is manifesting now. I know I am a creator and my intention has full divine support. I know I am a creator and my intention has full divine support. I give my permission to manifest here and now. I give my permission to manifest here and now. And now let's move on to the next phase of the process. Step 8. The 8th step is to be open to receive. So acknowledge you are fully open to the complete receiving from God and the universe. Receiving is not an activity or a doing, and nor is it passive. It is more like allowing. It's a state of being open, to allow creation to come into your openness so you can accept it. And it is about giving yourself permission to receive. So think about how you've been in relation to receiving in the past. Here's some examples. How are you in receiving love and affection? How are you in receiving praise and compliments? How are you in receiving unexpected gifts? How are you in receiving material blessings? Do you always feel completely and deeply worthy of receiving? Do you feel deserving of receiving what you're asking for? Now, imagine there's a meter in front of you that goes from 0 to 100% and has a big red arrow in it. And ask yourself, what degree do you have permission to fully receive your intention? And just notice what percentage you have to receiving. What degree do you have permission to fully receive your intention? And notice if there's any counter voice or any pulling back or hesitation or questioning or objection or a voice that might show up in response to this request and intention. If you become aware of anything interfering, say the following: thank you for letting me know, and I surrender and release and dissolve all need for you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. And I surrender and release and dissolve all need for you. Now, using your imagination and your intention, create a vacuum hose to remove any and all energy traces of any obstacle or objection, and send it to the center of creation where it is neutralized and eliminated. So if you've had thoughts, move the vacuum around your head. If you've had feelings, move it around your heart and your solar plexus area. Those are the most likely places where you would notice those feelings. And just actually think about you letting go and releasing and allowing to be vacuumed off any of these thoughts that you don't deserve it or won't have it or shouldn't have it. Say to yourself, I acknowledge my willingness to allow myself to receive. I acknowledge my willingness to allow myself to receive. And add this: I give myself permission to allow myself to receive. I give myself permission to allow myself to receive. Receiving is an inner posture of being open to what is being offered. So say the words deeply again to yourself and make them your own. I acknowledge my willingness to allow myself to receive. I acknowledge my willingness to allow myself to receive. I am willing to surrender and release the need for any resistance to receiving. I am willing to surrender and release all need for resistance to receiving. I give myself permission to enter into the conscious acceptance of receiving. I acknowledge that I have the ability, power, and capacity to receive. I acknowledge I have the ability, power, and capacity to receive. I open myself to the energy and consciousness of receiving. And now just listen. Receiving comes about not by doing, but by letting go of any resistance. And that comes about by being in surrender, being open and available to answer questions and to respond with support and energy. Now, follow these words and make them your own. I acknowledge my capacity, ability, and power to love. I acknowledge my capacity, ability, and power to receive. I feel my ability to receive fully in my body, mind, and soul. I feel my ability to receive fully in my body, mind, and soul. I now deepen into my consciousness of receiving. I am fully 100% receptive to receiving. Now just listen. Receiving is not something that you make, but rather something you allow. But you can become familiar with the sense and presence of receiving. So you can actually attune yourself to an energy of receiving or a universe of receiving. So let yourself be in the energy field of receiving. It's all around you. Feel the presence of receiving. Feel what it's like to be the embodiment of receiving. Now say these words, and as you say them, notice if there is anything in opposition. And if there is any thought or feeling of resistance, follow that with, I'm willing to surrender and release all need for you. Receiving is your greatest strength. It's really more powerful than doing. So say these words. I am open to receiving the full power of receiving. Now inwardly say, I fully integrate receiving throughout my body, mind, and soul. I fully integrate receiving throughout my body, mind, and soul. And let the light of receiving wash and dissolve any resistance that comes from any inner voice that says I can't, or I don't deserve, or any other form of resistance. Just imagine a wave of light flowing through you, dissolving any negative thought. Receiving is a consciousness and a force, and it will wash and eliminate everything that opposes it when you are aligned with it. It's the nature of the soul. It's who you are. So inwardly say, I am a receiver receiving. Now the final phase of empowering your intention for manifestation. There's now a stream of receiving consciousness that's very present flowing through you. You want to surrender yourself completely to be fully open to receiving and allow yourself to be carried on the wings of the consciousness of receiving. Connect with the source that brings life into every being and the source of all creation, the source of all existence. And with the beautiful energies present, very deliberately intend that they energize and deeply infuse through all of your intentions. Now, with the beautiful energies present, very deliberately intend they energize and deeply infuse through all of your intentions. You simply acknowledge this, it is true, and you nod your head in agreement. This is a state of consciousness that you are. It is the level of consciousness of your soul. This is a power that you have. Allow and sense your heart opening and the light of creation going forth, moving through you, around you, in you, doing whatever is necessary to bring about the manifestation you desire. Now follow along with my words. You don't need to repeat them, but take them in, acknowledge them, and agree with them. Let an intention of everyone, whoever has done this meditation, whoever is doing this meditation, or will ever do this meditation in the future, be like a chorus of souls singing through the universe with a collective will and intention of joining with God's will for supporting your intentions to manifest. And in addition, we call to the will of all of the beings of positive light and goodness to bring a speedy, full manifestation of your desires, all for greater goodness and fun for all. I completely and fully align with all those wonderful intentions. So now sense and feel the light and life force of creation and attraction flowing through your body, flowing through your chakras, flowing out through your energy field and into your life stream from the present all the way out into the future. Sense, feel, experience the light and life force moving through every cell, creating an auric field of golden white light all around you. And acknowledge your luminosity. Behold the light that you are, the light of creation, the light that emanates from the soul. Know it and feel it. Surrender to the divine and let yourself ride on the currents of creative light that are wanting to carry you and manifest all through you. Bringing more blessings, more fulfillment, more beauty, more all-embracing, unconditional love. And be thankful for all you have received in this session, including what you received that you may not even be consciously aware of. Be thankful for this as well. And now ask this entire session to fully and deeply integrate throughout your body, mind, and soul. Allow yourself to fully integrate this session, head to toe, inside and out, through all time, through your entire life stream, as you return to your full, normal, aware consciousness right here and right now. Bringing all of the love, light, and realizations with you, permanently changed. And be present and grounded in your normal aware state as you open your eyes and see the beauty of everything. Stretch out as you come all the way back to full normal alertness here and now. And I send you love and light, and may you be blessed with all goodness always. I'm Jonathan Parker.